Other shape right here. Then I have a couple of other shapes up here. It's important to note that all of the size shapes are a little bit different. They're not the same. I'm not repeating the same size and shape. So now what I want to do is I want to come over and I'm going to start the second phase of this. I'm going to go ahead and start doing a value study. But I have to do the sketch first. So watch what I do. Same idea, same shape, about 3 inches roughly by about 5 inches, and that's all you need. It doesn't need to be any larger than that. I'm going to switch to another pencil that I have down here that's a little bit sharper, and I can get just a little bit more of a refined line in here. I don't want too much of a pencil line in this case. I want just a little suggestion of a pencil line, because now I'm going to go into my colors, and I don't want the pencil lines to show as much. So watch what I do now. Same idea. I'm going to come in with my waterfall and just suggest, I'm just suggesting with a pencil line a little bit of the waterfall, not a lot of detail. I'm going to go ahead and put more of the detail in when I get to the color itself with the brush and paint. So I'm just suggesting just a light line drawing here. That's all I'm doing. Just a small line drawing, very few lines. You may not even be able to see it that well, but just follow along. You'll see it happen when I break out the paintbrush and the paint. So I've got a little suggestion of the waterfall coming down here, a little bit of my log here, some rocks underneath, and I'll put the detail in this cliff with my brush and paint. So watch what happens. Let me put down my pencil. I'll grab my number 8 round brush. So I'm going to use my number 8 round brush, and I'm going to go down to my palette. And remember, I'm going to do this in cobalt blue. It's important to note that in watercolor, if you want to have a lighter value, you use more water. If you want to have a darker value, you use more paint. So it's just that simple. So light value, a lot of water, a mid-tone, maybe a little bit more paint, a darker tone, a lot more paint. So follow along. Why is this important? It's important because I want to know where to put my lights, my mediums, and my darks. That's all this is about. So watch what I do. A little bit of cobalt blue, and I'll start with my lighter values first. So let's come over, and we're going to put in a little suggestion to show action in the water. I'm just using a dry brush effect, and watch what I do. I'm just pressing down and then pulling my brush, and see how I've created the look of some water flowing in this case. One of the best suggestions I could give you is to go out into nature, experience it firsthand, take a lot of photographs, study the subject, sit there and soak it in. Don't just glance at it and say, I saw it. Make notes. Lots of photographs. Make sketches. Do value studies like this. Become intimate with your subject. The results will show in the end when you have that finished product. Now I'm going to come down at the bottom here underneath this log, and we'll punch this area up just a little bit more. Again, I'm going to use a little touch of the Payne's Gray and get it just a little darker in this area here. I really want to show the strong darks in this case. So now look at the difference between using the Payne's Gray with the cobalt blue and just the cobalt blue by itself. So let's take and continue on. And again, this is underneath the log. This is the area underneath the log because I want to showcase this log that's right here, that's going across this particular area of the stream. A few more crevices in here, just some suggestion, a couple of little areas of dry brush and so forth. And that's all you'll need, really. This is a beautiful area, and I've even taken the time to climb to the top of this waterfall and experience looking down. Do that. Get out into nature and experience it firsthand. One of the best things you can do for yourself. The waterfall today is so cool and comfortable here. It's so refreshing. I wish you could be here with me. Let's take a few more darks. We'll put a few more darks on the rocks that are down here. And again, we're going to separate the rocks to show you that there's more than one area or one rock here. There's a few rocks in this area. So we'll just put a suggestion in there. So when I get to my finished color study over here, I'll know exactly where to put my darks, lights, and medium tones now. And you can, again, make these as elaborate as you want, but I want to make sure that you understand how important this is, because you can really do a painting in one color, regardless of the color. As long as the values are correct, no one will ever think about the fact that it's one color. There are many artists who paint that way, and you can see this kind of work in museums all over the country and all over the world. So have fun with it. Now you can see the waterfall coming down. And I've left some whites in here. I think it's important to leave some whites. I've got a little bit of the of this particular area of the log here, and we'll put a little texture in the log just so it doesn't look like I took a piece of white paper and just kind of glued onto that area. But now you can see where the log is.